From Real to Virtual, exploring Replica-Enhanced environment transitions along the Reality-Virtuality Continuum. We developed a generic concept for seamless transitions across all stages of the RVC. Based on that, we designed and implemented a set of 4 transition techniques to investigate their applicability for movement between real and virtual environments. To allow for such seamless transitions, we introduce a replica, which is separated into sub-objects and object groups. We performed a user study retrieving qualitative information about the overall transition process, comparing the 4 techniques to a baseline condition. While the content of one environment decreases, the content of the next environment increases. When this happens from the real environment to the replica environment, the user transitions through AR, where most content is still real, over AV, where most content is digital, to the completely digital replica environment. Then this process repeats to reach the target environment. However, this time all content is already digital and therefore all happens in VR. The replica environment is a digital reproduction of the real environment. Additionally, coherent lighting based on GPS, time and weather data was implemented in the replica environment. This means that the lighting and shadows in the virtual scene match the real environment. Coherent lighting was also a factor in the user study. Additionally, we included 2 different target environments, one playful medieval scene and one professional office scene. The task in the user study was a simple object search task where users were presented with an image of an object in the real world and then selected it in the target environment. The transition techniques we implemented and investigated in the user study were fade, dissolve, translate and combine, as well as a simple baseline condition without digital replica. The fade transition technique gradually adjusts the transparency of the virtual objects. The real objects are continuously superimposed by their digital counterparts in the replica. When this process is completed, the replica objects decrease visibility while target environment increases in visibility. In the dissolve technique, the objects are disintegrated or materialized with a burning or flooding effect on their surfaces. Therefore, a randomized noise pattern spreads across the respective object. The edges are displayed with a radiant orange glow, creating the impression of dissolution or emergence through a melting process. The translate technique centers around object movement. Objects are moved into and out of the visible environment by flying either up through the ceiling or down through the floor. In this process, the objects also undergo a fading process to seemingly vanish above the ceiling or below the floor. The combine technique is a mixture of the 3 previous techniques. Fade is applied to large surfaces like floors, walls and ceilings to minimize distraction. The dissolve effect is used for the transition of objects closer to the user and objects that require the user's attention, such as tables, chairs and screens. Translate is then used to achieve an authentic impression and is applied to objects that would naturally move that way, such as blinds and curtains.